This is the Your Dollars Making Sense podcast, brought to you by Jamie Blanton with Jacob Title, Bales Property Management and Home Building, SHH Mechanical, Boyle's Tax Service, 412 Pub House, Anytime Fitness, and Cotton Home Inspections.
Hey everybody, Richard Neese here, the host of Your Dollars Making Sense. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you're listening to us on WKUL 92.1, thank you. It's 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. I hope it's a beautiful Saturday for you. It's already been pretty this January, but I'd say there's been some bad weather in our area too. Kind of scares me when we've got 70-degree weather in January in North Alabama. But anyways, we appreciate you guys tuning in. If this is the first time you've listened to us, check us out on Spotify, on our several different podcasts, iHeartRadio, and other places. We also put this on Facebook if you want to follow me on Facebook. The whole point of Your Dollars Making Sense is to help you. We want to help you reach financial freedom, whatever that is for you. We believe that financial intelligence is the key to financial freedom. What does that mean? The more you know, the more you earn, the better chance you have of getting out of the rat race. There are several different strategies, hundreds, thousands of strategies to get to where you want to go. You got to figure out what's the best one for you. What's your risk tolerance? What kind of investments do you enjoy doing? Do you want to be hands-on? Do you want to be hands-off? There's so many different aspects to it. So the first thing is getting that baseline. You got to have a baseline, a foundation on the financial side to see where you're going. What does retirement look like? Financial freedom is so important to so many people, but freedom in general is what we're looking for. I mean, we live in the great United States of America, so freedom is key. It's a premium, so we want to continue to be able to do what we want to do when we want to do it. How do you do that? You got to have enough money in the bank. You've got to have enough assets working for you so you can travel, so you can go hunting for 6 to 12 months out of the year. Whatever that looks like for you, we can help you get there. And the way that we do that is we bring on experts to help you. We bring on experts, whether that's bookkeepers to tell you how to do payroll and save on taxes. We bring on financial advisors. I'm a real estate broker here in North Alabama that has done all sorts of investment properties and owns investments myself. There's so many different ways to do this, and we want to give you the clearest path for you. But you got to start with a plan. You got to start with a goal in mind and move towards that slowly. Self-education is so important, and you may get into this and you may start saying, this is more than what I want to deal with. I'm going to trust an advisor to take care of that. I'm going to trust a real estate agent to help me on these things. You've got to have that baseline before you can even make that decision. So thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, I'm a real estate broker here in North Alabama. My name is Richard Neese. I've got storage units, we've got office buildings, we've got houses and apartments, and we've got all sorts of different investments as far as the real estate side goes. And I've also dabbled in other investment type things, whether that's day trading or whatever the case might be. I'll tell you, I wasn't that good at day trading. We'll find somebody that can do that much better than I do and has a better strategy. There is no wrong way to get to this point. You've got to find your way, and we want to be able to help you do that because we believe in helping good people get to a better place. First thing I want to do is give a quick shout out to some of our sponsors. We've got Steadfast Painting. Tamar Gorley does a great job on all of our painting needs. She works for several of the builders I work with, does an excellent job painting, and just a great person overall. And a close friend of hers, Chris Cotton with Cotton Home Inspections. So Chris does 90% of our inspections, does a great job. He's a former police or a deputy sheriff down in Jefferson County, worked on the homicide team. He is very thorough and meticulous at everything he does, and he's a good man to work with, and I trust him with my personal home inspections. Also got Bales Home Builders. Dale Bales does a lot of work for me. I list a lot of his properties. He's got some beautiful homes throughout Coleman County. He also does roofing, remodeling, all sorts of things. It wouldn't be possible to do this show without the sponsors that we have. Thank you guys so much for all that you do and for supporting what we're doing and supporting me on getting the word out to help people get to a better place. So the thing we're going to be talking about today, the meat and potatoes, is BRRRR, BRRRR, Buy, Rehab, Refinance, Repeat. If you haven't heard of this strategy before, it's one you should definitely listen. You should tune in to the second segment when we get there here in just a second because we're going to get into the meat and potatoes on it. BRRRR strategy is a fairly simple strategy once you get the concept, but a lot of people are afraid of it. They're afraid of the bank. They don't understand how it all works. This is where you've got to have an expert, whether that's a real estate agent, appraiser, or you the expert yourself, because it depends on after repair value. What does that mean? ARV. It means once the house is completed, how much is it going to be worth? That's a crucial step in this, so make sure you tune in on the other side when we start talking about the BRRRR strategy for your dollars making sense.
This is the Your Dollars Making Sense podcast, brought to you by Jamie Blanton with Jacob Title, Bales Property Management and Home Building, SHH Mechanical, Boyle's Tax Service, 412 Pub House, Anytime Fitness, and Cotton Home Inspections.
Welcome back to Your Dollars Making Sense. I'm the host, Richard Neese, local real estate broker for Weichert Realtors here in North Alabama. We appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm excited about this topic. If you guys can't tell, I love talking about real estate. I love talking about the thing that has allowed me to get to a better place, to help more people, to be able to do this radio show, to give to charities, to support veterans. Real estate has done that for me, and the BRRRR strategy has been a big part of it. I'll leave out names and things like that, but BRRRR is very important because you buy. Well, how do you buy real estate? There's lots of ways you can buy. You can buy it for sale by owner. You can find a real estate agent that can help you. You can buy it on the courthouse steps. You can buy it through tax sales. All these things we can discuss in further detail. But the first step in the BRRRR strategy is finding the right property to buy at the right price. What does that mean? Well, the whole reason, the whole concept behind the BRRRR strategy is you're going to buy the property, you're going to fix it up, and instead of selling it like a traditional flip, what you're going to do is you're going to refinance. What does refinance do? Refinance allows you to pull that cash back out that you put into it and go do another project. Now, ideally, what should happen is you should make the value that you add should be more than the 20% down payment that you're supposed to have on the refinance or something like that. So you actually make money off of it. You're able to access that cash, and it's not just stored in equity, and you don't get taxed on it, which is a great thing. Now, I'm going to go ahead and disclose I'm not a tax professional. I am not an attorney. I'm not any of those people. I'm a real estate broker that has done this several times with several different banks. It is possible. So when people tell you that doesn't work, it won't work, they haven't done it before. They're afraid to do it. Have I made mistakes? Absolutely. I've made mistakes with this, and I'll tell you about some of them as we go. But the BRRRR strategy is so important to modern real estate investors, especially with the rates that we have right now. Most of the United States, we're looking at 4% on residential. Now, that's if you buy, most time it's if you buy with the intention to live there, but it could be as low as 4.5% to 5% on a bank loan or a commercial loan or things like that. You want to talk to your mortgage professional on that to see exactly what they can provide for you. You can also contact me, and I can give you a list of local banks as well as mortgage brokers that can help you with that in our area. But the thing is, you've got to find it, and you make money when you buy, not when you sell. And that's what I tell people consistently. If it's not a good deal on the front end, after you've added in all the contingencies, all the things that could happen, that could go wrong, then you don't need to buy it. Don't just hope that it's going to work out. Don't have rose-colored glasses. Things happen in real estate. You're going to have expenses. You're going to have issues that pop up. So you've got to make sure that you do your numbers on the front end. Now, you don't want to do paralysis by analysis, but you've got to make sure you do the numbers on the front end and talk to somebody that's done it. If you've listened to some of our shows before, I strongly advocate for mentors, for getting around people that have already done what you want to do. They're willing to give you information. I can promise you that. Because there are so few people that actually act on that information, and they know that. The few that are bold enough to do it, I'm glad to have in my ranks. I'm glad to work with in different ways. I've helped several people, I would say tens, getting close to probably 50 or 60 people start out their real estate journeys, adventures through investment properties. They have so many questions to ask. They're afraid of this, or they don't know about that. Well, I don't know all the answers, but I can help you with some of it. And then at some point, you've got to take a leap of faith too. So you've got to kind of balance between analysis by paralysis and paralysis by analysis, and just jumping at any deal that seems like a deal. So we're talking about the BRRRR strategy. So the first thing you do is you find a good deal on a property with the intent that the money that you put into it will allow you to force appreciation. What does that mean? Forced appreciation means that you've increased the value of something that's greater than the amount of money that you put into it. Forced appreciation. You can do this with residential properties, investment or commercial properties, apartment complexes, really anything that you put out there. So if I've got a property that I put $20,000 into that I bought for $50,000 and it's now worth $100,000, there's a $30,000 forced appreciation. Why are those numbers important? Well, because in the BRRRR strategy, you're buying the property, you're rehabbing it, and then you're refinancing. Well, most folks know that if you're dealing with investment property, it's not always the case, but you're going to have a 20% equity, 20% down. That's what everybody's afraid of getting into. But with the BRRRR strategy, you've already built in that forced appreciation on that property we talked about at $50,000 to $70,000. It's now worth $100,000. So what you essentially have is you can go to the bank and get an $80,000 loan, $80,000 pulled back on that $100,000 value of the property. How does that make sense? Well, now you're going to have carrying costs. You're going to have lots of other things that factor in. And I can help you itemize those out to see what the value is going to be, what you're actually going to gain. But done properly, when you buy, you rehab, and you refinance, the refinance should get you all of your cash back. You also have a cash flowing property, which you're renting. That's one step that I missed there. Sorry. Buy, rehab, refinance, rent, and repeat. So we're going to rent it. We're going to get the cash flow off of that, and we're going to have all the money that we started with at the beginning of the process. How does that happen? Well, the bank sees the value of the property being $100,000 now. You pulled out $80,000 total to pay for that old loan. So now you have the difference of your $20,000 that you put in repair-wise and the $10,000 that you built up in equity on top of that 20%. And you've got a renter in there that's paying the mortgage down, so you can do this over and over again. Now, you want to consult your financial advisor, you want to consult your banker to understand the risk of this, because there are risks. I'll tell you one of the biggest mistakes that I made. I didn't find out what the seasoning period was for a property. So I bought a 5-unit apartment complex, found a great deal on it, and I worked with a new bank, a bank that I hadn't done business with before, and I expected them to have the same ground rules as the other banks. Some banks allow you to hold a property for 6 months and then refinance, some a year. There are lots of different stipulations. This is why you got to ask and find out beforehand, because it put me in a bind. It put me in a pinch. I was expecting to make around $30,000 on a cash-out refinance that wasn't available, because instead of a 6-month seasoning period, which is what I thought, it was a 12-month seasoning period. That's a big deal. Now, I'm still going to have the opportunity to do that, but I can't do it until that next time frame. So any deal that I had lined up had to be pushed back, or I had to find other means to finance it because I didn't do my due diligence. It happens to everybody. It's a learning process. It puts you in a pinch, but if you don't learn from it, then you might as well get out of the business, because you're learning constantly in this business. There's different bank regulations. There's different real estate appraisal services. I mean, there's so many things that you can't account for, that you've got to talk with somebody that's done it before. And then sometimes you have to learn through the school of hard knocks. Another experience that I had with a BRRRR strategy was I got an appraiser that strictly went off of what I paid for the price, or paid for the property, instead of what the value was in other ways. I had rent that showed that the property should have been worth around $130,000, but the appraiser saw that I got the house for significantly less, and the appraiser pushed that just above what I bought it for, but not what the true value would have been with the cash flow coming in. There's a learning process with all of this. At the end of the day, the BRRRR strategy, I can't emphasize enough, is a great way to get started if you have the skill set or the logistics to fix up a property, and then you're looking at getting in the rental game, but you don't want to have all of your cash in one place. It helps keep you liquid over that time frame. And then if you're doing the BRRRR strategy several times, well, now you've got multiple cash flowing properties over the 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever that time frame is, and you have your cash back. So everybody that's renting from you is paying down that mortgage from where you borrowed the money. Another good thing on this is, and it's different everywhere, so you want to address or ask your tax bookkeeper or your CPA or whoever you use to do your taxes to find out. Most of the time, a refinance is not a taxable event. What does that mean? So if I flip a property, if I buy it, I rehab it, and then I sell it, at that point, I'm taxed on the capital gains, whether that's short-term, long-term, whatever the case might be. If you buy, rehab, refinance, a refinance in most cases is not going to be a taxable event. So you're not losing 30%, 20%, whatever the case might be. You're gonna pay costs. I mean, there's a price to do business. You have to pay bank fees and origination fees and things like that. But you're not paying Uncle Sam, and so it's not taxable. Now, there's some other things that we can discuss on that. An accountant would be a better person to discuss as far as what your base is. If you sold that property later on, what would the actual price be and things like that that you're taxed on. But on a BRRRR strategy, it's not a taxable event when you refinance. So we're covering a lot of information today with the BRRRR strategy. Very technical stuff, but this is something that if you haven't heard of it before, listen to this and then listen to it again. And then you can give me a call, reach out to me. I'd be glad to explain it to you. You can look it up. A great resource is biggerpockets.com. That's where I started actually listening to several of their books when they just got it started. The BRRRR strategy is so important to the modern investor, especially with money being cheap. And the thing is, financial intelligence is the key to financial freedom. In this strategy, you're using your intelligence, your money sense, the ability to know banks, know how they operate, know real estate, know what it's going to appraise for. The knowledge is where the profit is at. It's not the actual work. So you've got to play this scenario out, good, bad, worst case scenarios, before you pull the trigger on this to know this is what's going to happen. You're always going to have outliers. You're always going to have things pop up. But at the end of the day, this is one of the safest strategies to use when you're trying to build a real estate empire. So make sure you tune in on the other side of Your Dollars Making Sense. We're going to finish out the BRRRR strategy, and we're going to talk a little bit more about real estate and talk about entrepreneurs. So we can't wait to discuss that. Make sure you tune back into Your Dollars Making Sense, where financial intelligence is the key to financial freedom.
This is the Your Dollars Making Sense podcast, brought to you by Jamie Blanton with Jacob Title, Bales Property Management and Home Building, SHH Mechanical, Boyle's Tax Service, 412 Pub House, Anytime Fitness, and Cotton Home Inspections.
Welcome back to Your Dollars Making Sense, where financial intelligence is the key to financial freedom. We appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm the host, Richard Neese, a local real estate broker here in North Alabama for Weichert Realtors. Thank you guys for listening. If you're listening to us on Spotify, if you're listening to us on iHeartRadio or some of the other locations that we're at, thank you. Go back and listen to other episodes. The whole goal for us is to help good people get to a better place. We want to increase your financial intelligence, which is going to help you get to the finish line faster, wherever that finish line is for you. Today we've been talking about the BRRRR strategy: buy, rehab, refinance, rent, and repeat. What does this even mean? The traditional strategy is you either have to flip or you either have to rent properties out. There's benefits to both. When you flip a property, you go and you buy it, you fix it up, and you sell it for a profit. Then you get taxed on that profit, or you can use a 1031 exchange. You roll it to the next property. You have finalized a transaction at that point. The other strategy is to buy it, fix it up, and then rent it out. Well, what this does is it puts you in a cash crunch, because most loans for investment properties take 20% down, rehab costs, and so there's not many that you can do unless you've got a large nest egg in order to build your real estate portfolio. The BRRRR strategy allows you to buy a property, to rehab it, to refinance it. When you refinance, you get your cash back, and then you rent the property out after that. So you have the cash flow. You also have the property building equity monthly as the payments are paid. And you can move to the next property as well, because you have the cash back that you put into the other one. So there's a huge benefit to knowing this strategy. It's not super complicated, but there are some moving parts to it. So you want to have a real estate professional help you with it. You want to have a mortgage broker that you trust and that understands what you're trying to do. Usually local banks are better on this, but you can do either way. There's lots of good real estate brokers out there and mortgage professionals that can help you. I would love to help you. If you want, you can give me a call at 256-708-1511. I've helped many people with this strategy, and I'm actually working on two right now. One that's looking to buy, and then another that's refinancing, and then looking to 1031 exchange it if they decide to sell it. So there's tons of information out there. There's lots of ways that you can use your intelligence to become wealthy, your intelligence to move further or closer to that finish line, whatever that is for you guys. Last thing I want to do is I want to give a quick shout out to some of our sponsors, Jacob Title, Jamie Blanton. They do a great job with our closings on the real estate side. A good friend of mine. We appreciate their support. They can close in I believe Alabama, Tennessee, and I think Georgia, but I know Alabama and Tennessee. We also have SHH Mechanical. They do a lot of our work on my rental properties, taking care of our HVAC units and so many other things. Good people. Anytime Fitness, Stephen Gannon, also a good man. Anytime Fitness is where I go. I've got a personal trainer there. I'm there supposed to be 3 times a week. Usually it's 2, but don't tell Zach that. And then we also have 412 Pub House, a great restaurant. I love taking clients there to discuss real estate and business, and it's just it's a family environment, but it also has a great feel, a great vibe, so they do a great job there. Thank you guys so much for all the support that you give us. If you guys are interested in real estate, you can give me a call. If you guys are interested in investing or being a guest on the show, please give me a call too. Reach out to us on Facebook. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor on the show, we'd love to have you. Give us a call. We've got opportunities for billboards, for radio, for Facebook and social media. We want to help good people get to a better place. We can package something up for you if you're interested in becoming a sponsor and being a part of what we're doing, which is consistently helping people. We believe that financial intelligence is the key to financial freedom. I hope you guys have a great Saturday. If you're listening to us on the radio, if you're listening to us on a podcast, listen to the rest of them. Please subscribe. We want to hear about what you want to hear about too. If there's a certain topic, budgeting, real estate, finances in general, starting a business, we've got so many resources out there. I want to hear what you guys want to learn about, what you want to know about, and we can help you get to a better place. Hope you guys have a great weekend.